What's up, guys? This is your boy, the Average Gamer 92 here, back with another video for Injustice 2 Mobile. And in this video, we are gonna look at all the 94 characters in Injustice 2 Mobile and rate them in a tier list. And we are gonna get started with this video right now. So, the most OP characters, the ultimate OP characters, according to me, are these characters that we have at hand. So the first one is King of Atlantis Aquaman. So King of Atlantis Aquaman is an excellent character and definitely is one of the first characters that you should try to get once you actually start playing the game. And even for the advanced players, they know how King of Atlantis Aquaman is one of the best characters in the game. So if you're a new player, definitely try to get into a T6 league. And once you get into a T6 league, at least you can get league credits. And using the league credits, you can buy King of Atlantis Aquaman from the league store. So King of Atlantis Aquaman does a ton of damage in raids, in like solo raids, in league raids. And this is mainly because of his passive, where his SP3 does a 10% of damage of the boss's health, and that 10% is kind of variable in a way where like for some bosses it is like capped at 3%, and for other bosses it's like 10% of the remaining health. So this is how King of Atlantis Aquaman is definitely one of the strongest characters in the game and does a lot of damage in raids, like I said, league raids, and definitely is also fun to play with, I'll say, but definitely is one of the most important characters that you should concentrate on. For the advanced players, they already know this. For the beginners, definitely this is the best character that you should start working on from the beginning. And moving on to the next character in the first list, which is the ultimate OP list, and we have in the ultimate OP list is Black Manta. So this is the first legendary character, I'll say, in this particular tier, the ultimate OP tier. And here, the reason why I have included Black Manta is Black Manta does a ton of damage and is very useful against multiple bosses in whether it be in raids, whether it be in arena, champions arena. You can still you play using Black Manta, and this is again because of how Black Manta works. It is because of his passives, where he does a lot of damage using just the basic attacks. So definitely using just the basic attacks kind of mitigates you from spending a ton of resources, so that leveling up like a Black Manta is gonna be an easier job, I'll say. Again, optimizing to the full extent will not be an easier job, given the perspective that it's a legendary character and like talent rerolls cost higher. So definitely leaving that aspect kind of aside, the other aspect of it being very useful in the game comes in. So definitely Black Manta is one of the strongest characters, and if you're playing Rise of Krypton solo raids against Justice League Aquaman, it is gonna do like rampage, because it has a passive where it gains attack like 3 times the damage against Aquaman opponents. So definitely it's the arch rival, and I'll say even nemesis of Aquaman. So definitely it's a worthy character as well. So moving on to the next ultimate OP character in this tier list is Last Laugh the Joker. So Last Laugh the Joker is definitely OP, and the reason is again because of his passive as well as the support he gets from doing the basic attacks, and kind of like enhanced by the dots that he gets from entangling poison ivy. So with that being said, Last of the Joker's passive actually grants him additional attack when any of the opponents or even the teammates are knocked out. So definitely Last of the Joker for league raids is very useful, and even in solo raids in Dawn of Apocalypse, it's pretty useful against fighting Last of the Joker himself, and as well as the other bosses as well, where you get a ton of attack boost, ton of attack boost mainly in league raids, I'll say, where you get the attack boost through like fighting against Gorilla Grodd or fighting against P1. So you can definitely one shot P1 in T8 raids with Last Love the Joker once you have him built correctly. So definitely makes Last Love the Joker an OP character, and it's finally in the ultimate OP character list in this tier list. So moving on to the next character, we have Heartbreaker Harley Quinn. So definitely she's the queen of solo raids, and in some cases she does even more damage than King of Atlantis Aquaman, bearing the fact that the SP3 damage that King of Atlantis Aquaman does is a ton. So barring that factor, Heartbreaker Harley Quinn is definitely, I feel, is one of the best characters in the game, and those who are older players, they'll definitely agree. Those who are newer players, you must kind of start concentrating on building up Heartbreaker Harley Quinn. And like I said, the case with Justice League Aquaman, where Black Manta has the advantage, here also Heartbreaker Harley Quinn in Rise of Krypton is gonna take out the three bosses in Tier 5. So where you have Nightwing, you have boss Black Adam, you have also boss Justice League Aquaman. She is gonna swipe all these three characters with the right support, and the right support here is definitely having Entangling Poison Ivy as a support, as well as a stun based character, like a character which stuns. It could be like a Predator Batman, it could be Arkham Knight Batman, because all the bosses in Tier 5 in Rise of Krypton are not having harmonious modifier. The main three bosses, like I mentioned, Nightwing, boss Black Adam, as well as Justice League Aquaman, they do not have harmonious modifier, and definitely they can be stunned and a lot of damage can be done. And even in Dawn of Apocalypse solo raids, Heartbreaker Harley Quinn is awesome, as she's gonna do a lot of damage with the basic attacks, and even her SP3 has armor pierce, so she has everything going for her. Her fast attack chance is like, or rather, fast attack hits is like 3 hits per fast attack, so that definitely increases the damage that you are gonna do and makes her one of the most viable characters in the ultimate OP character tier list. So moving on, we have Batman Ninja Catwoman. Again, Batman Ninja Catwoman is an excellent character, and she does a lot of damage. And with the Beta Club artifact that we have at hand, she's just one of the most OP characters in the game right now, because her lethal attacks, while she's doing the lethal attacks, again, obviously paired with the other Batman Ninja teammates like Batman Ninja Gorilla Grodd as well as Batman Ninja Robin, she is gonna do a lot of damage. And even I have seen people doing over 1 billion damage in Rise of Krypton solo raids, which is kind of crazy, and nobody could have ever imagined it before. So, with that being said, Batman Ninja Catwoman is definitely falling in the ultimate OP character list, in my opinion. So moving on, we have Silver Banshee. So Silver Banshee is another very OP character in my opinion, because you can do a lot of damage in like raids. In league raids, if you have Silver Banshee optimized, you can do easily 30 to 40 million damage in facing boss Dr. Fate. And obviously, if you're facing like easier boss, which is Brainiac Phase 1, nobody uses it, but if you're wanting to use it, you can definitely try. You are going to do more amount of damage as well. And for solo raids, definitely Silver Banshee gives a lot of advantage because of her ability to lock specials of the opponents. And I'm gonna just jump back to Dawn of Apocalypse here. So Dawn of Apocalypse has Last of the Joker boss, and he's kind of ridiculous and very difficult to beat. In that scenario, Silver Banshee's special 2 tags out the minion basically of Last of the Joker, and you do not waste additional time in doing damage against Last of the Joker. So Silver Banshee is very much OP and very much useful against all the bosses in league raids as well as solo raids who do not have the modifier where the boss's ability cannot be disabled. So if the bosses do not have this modifier, Silver Banshee is gonna do a lot of damage. Personally speaking, like I have done over 100 million damage with the Kryptonite artifacts, of course, and definitely if you have more of the Kryptonite artifacts or even all blades, and you are gonna do a lot of damage in every aspects of the game. So Silver Banshee definitely, in my opinion, is falling under the ultimate OP tier list. So moving on, we have Batman Ninja Gorilla Grodd. And Batman Ninja Gorilla Grodd is the second legendary character in this particular tier list. And he does a lot of damage with the basics, and the passive he has of granting power because of landing a lethal hit on the opponent is very much useful, and is kind of a basis of forming of the Batman Ninja Catwoman team, and he helps in doing a lot of damage, as well as he's an excellent combo builder. Like you can do an infinite combo, you can do a combo interruption with Batman Ninja Gorilla Grodd, which makes him very versatile as a combo builder as well as a damage dealer, and even a tank or a support, however you want to put it. And definitely, I personally believe that Batman Ninja Gorilla Grodd is the second legendary character in the ultimate OP character tier list. Moving on, we have Multiverse Armor Supergirl. So this is a bit of a dicey choice that I kind of made, whether to include her in this ultimate OP character list, and if you're a beginner, whether you should concentrate on this character or not. So previously, the Multiverse Armor Supergirl used to come in Arena quite frequently, but right now they did not have her in Arena that frequently. So it is gonna be a bit difficult to get her. But once you get her, she's an OP character as well. She does a decent amount and like a lot of damage against Captain Cold in league raids, and also in solo raids she can do a lot of damage because of her SP1 and SP3 combo. So where SP1, her SP1 kind of burns the opponent, halves the defense, and SP3 does a lot more damage when the opponent is burned. So Multiverse Armor Supergirl is versatile. It's very strong in arena. So with one her SP3 and once paired with Multiverse the Flash, you're gonna get do like a lot of damage with Multiverse Armor Supergirl, because she can literally take out a full health dark side with just one single SP3. So this concludes the ultimate OP character tier list. I know we are pretty much long into this video, but like I said, this is going to be a long video. Grab your popcorn and everything and get ready. So moving on to the next part of this tier list, we are going to have the Giga tier list. And this includes a significantly more number of characters than the ultimate OP characters. So the first character that I have here is Justice League the Flash. So personally, I feel Justice League: The Flash is like a hybrid build similar to Batman Ninja Gorilla Grodd, because he can do a lot of damage. Mind you, he can do a lot of damage because of his passive, where he grants extra fast attack hit to all the teammates, irrespective of whether that teammate is a Justice League teammate or any other character. So with that being said, he can do a lot of damage with the fast attacks because of +4 fast attacks, as well as he gets boost to his basic attacks when like once paired with Justice League Cyborg. So definitely, I like I said, Justice League Flash is quite versatile, and definitely I believe it falls in the Giga character. So why not an ultimate OP character? I believe it has good damage potential, but not the ulterior or superior or the most superior kind of damage. So it can do a lot of damage, but this is again like my personal preference. I put Justice League the Flash in the Giga tier list. So moving on to the next character is Justice League Cyborg. So Justice League Cyborg kind of forms the basis of the Justice League team, granting the entire Justice League team uh, passive boost to the basic attacks, 300% damage boost at 5 stars. And that is definitely one of the most useful things that you're going to use. And so with Justice League Cyborg paired in your Justice League team, you're going to just run through arena, run through Champions Arena. Like matches will take like 5 seconds, 10 seconds once your Justice League team is entirely built up, and that's gonna be pretty fun. And as well as in raids, like league raids and solo raids. In league raids, if you're facing the P4 boss Brainiac, you are gonna do still a decent amount of damage, like over 10 million, 16 million, or even in cases like if you're an extremely great player, you can even cross 20 million with the Justice League team. So with that being said, Justice League Cyborg is definitely an excellent character, and according to me falls in the Giga tier list. Moving on to the next character, we have Predator Batman. So Predator Batman is one of the oldest characters in the game. It came out as soon as the game had launched, and was definitely one of the most most I'll say, interesting character, as well as one of the highest damage dealing, if not the highest damage dealing character once it was released. And it is kind of let down by the passive. The SP3 multiplayer of Predator Batman is insane, and he can do a lot of damage in like raids, in league raids and solo raids, but is kind of overshadowed by the ultimate OP characters who do way more damage than Predator Batman. So, with that being said, this concludes for Predator Batman, and I'm going to jump into the next character, which is Arkham Knight Batman. Again, another Batman. And Arkham Knight Batman is a Giga character, in my opinion, because primarily Arkham Knight Batman is used for the passive, which is like it can stun bosses which even have harmonious modifier, which means those bosses which cannot be stunned can actually be stunned using Arkham Knight Batman. And Arkham Knight Batman is the first legendary in this Giga tier list, and definitely he is also a good potential damage dealer. But apparently, because of his passive, he's more of a support character to the League of Anarchy team, where you have Heartbreaker Harley Quinn doing a lot of damage because of her passive of doing 300% additional damage against stunned opponents, and like Arkham Knight Batman can actually stun the opponents. So with that being said, let's move on to the next character in this Giga tier list, which is Entangling Poison Ivy. So Entangling Poison Ivy, the passive of Entangling Poison Ivy, where she grants dot damage on the basic attacks, is kind of the basis of making the League of Anarchy team very strong. So definitely, Entangling Poison Ivy is an essential character to build up. You do not need to build it up extremely for high damage. She's mainly used for her passive. So if you have her at 5-star, you're kind of good to go, because that will grant her the maximum dot damage that you can do from basic attacks, and that's going to be pretty useful. So moving on to the next character is another legendary character in this particular tier, the Giga tier, which is Darkseid. So a Darkseid has potential to do a decent amount of damage as well, and we saw in Jigsaw's video, definitely Darkseid has a good potential to do a good amount of damage. But he's not the most OP character, I'll say. He's definitely fun to play with and ridiculous to fight against in arena because of his passives, where he has bombardments coming in arena, then parademon, and then a barrier, then a lot of things like power drain, regen of health, gaining of attack once an opponent is defeated. Darkseid has a lot of things going for him, and this definitely makes him a great legendary character. But strictly from like a damage dealing perspective, it's not the most OP character. So I personally feel that it's not in the ultimate OP tier list, but definitely in the Giga tier list, where he's fun to play with and can do a lot of different things as well. So moving on to the next character is Silver Doctor Fate. So why is Silver Doctor Fate in the Giga tier list? It's primarily because of his passive, as well as the ability to do an infinite combo once the Father Box is equipped on Dr. Fate. So Dr. Fate's passive reduces the power cost of the special abilities of all the characters in the team. So definitely that is an extremely useful passive, and it also reduces the defense. So it reduces the defense by 10% at level 5, that is the 5-star level passive, and that is definitely useful. And along with the KOM team, Dr. Fate, KOM, and paired with Shazam, even this team is going to do a lot of damage, and primarily because Dr. Fate can continue an infinite string of combo and not let the opponent attack you. So with that being said, we're going to move on to the next character, which is Shazam. So Shazam is also a great character because of his, again, most of the characters that you're going to see in this Ultimate OP as well as the Giga is because of the passive. So Shazam grants attack boost to might opponents as well as Arcane team, not opponents, rather teammates, to the might teammates as well as the Arcane teammates, and that is definitely useful. It's gonna grant you 100% of your base attack. So basically, for example, if you Justice League the Flash, not Justice League the Flash, let me pick up an Arcane character from tier list I'm seeing here. So let's take, for example, Silver Banshee. So Silver Banshee has like 2,700 odd base attack at level 70, if I remember correctly. So you're gonna get additional 2700 attack once you're pairing with Shazam, and that's gonna make a drastic impact as well. So Shazam again also has an infinite combo with his SP1. So if you are tagging in Shazam, do an SP1, you can actually tag out and continue an infinite combo string as well. So this again makes Shazam kind of versatile, and it's primarily a support character, not a damage dealer, but is a great support character, and hence definitely I feel it falls in the Giga tier list. So moving on to the next character, and some of you might agree to disagree, and this is Batman Ninja Lord Joker. So I personally feel this is a very underrated character in the game. So the reason is Batman Ninja Lord Joker can do over 20 million damage against Captain Cold in League raids. If you don't believe me, you can actually kind of search it out, but definitely people have done that. And he's underrated because he's kind of overshadowed with like Batman Ninja Catwoman as the main damage dealer. So he's kind of overshadowed, but he's a fun to play character, and his passive costs quite low and is very fast in doing the passive. So that kind of even makes him a high DPS character, which means damages per second, which increases the amount of damage that you are gonna do as well. So definitely a fun character to play with, and it's very underrated. So it might be looking controversial to kind of put Batman Ninja Lord Joker here in the Giga tier, but like I said, this is kind of my opinion, so I'm kind of placing Batman Ninja Lord Joker in the Giga tier rather, not tier. Moving on to the next character is Multiverse the Flash. So Multiverse the Flash is again an awesome character because primarily of his passives, where he reduces the power cost of the multiverse team, and that is definitely useful because your power cost for multiverse armor supergirl is going to get decreased, as well as he grants additional critical attack damage as well as additional critical attack chance. So the critical attack damage is granted for every character irrespective of whether that character is a multiverse character or not. So definitely that is very useful. It kind of helps in you saving resources. And the critical attack chance is chance that he gives to only the multiverse teammates, and 52% chance, which is pretty huge. And this makes a drastic difference in the build of multiverse armor supergirl, because you do not need to invest any resources in creating multiverse armor supergirl as a great damage dealer. So definitely is an useful character and is a fun to play character as well. So moving on, we have Justice League Aquaman. So Justice League Aquaman is again a very important character in the Justice League team, and primarily Justice League Flash, Justice League Cyborg, and Justice League Aquaman form the primary Justice League team. And this is because of Justice League Aquaman's passive, where he grants armor pierce for every Justice League team member, and that is 100% at 5-star. So this definitely increases the damage that you are gonna do drastically. So definitely I feel is it's a giga tier character. Some of you might rate it a bit lower, but I personally feel since it helps a lot to like form the basis of the Justice League team, I believe it falls in the giga tier list. So moving on, we have the next character, which is Reverse Flash. Reverse Flash is entirely a combo builder and a support character, and primarily it's a great combo builder because he has 3 fast attack hits. So definitely is a very useful character with the 3 fast attack hits, and also his other passive where he steals power drain. He steals power drain. No, he steals power. So he doesn't do actually power drain. So the difference is when he steals power, he can actually get power from bosses who are resistant to power drains. Like in league raids, you can actually get power from the opponent. Like if you're facing Doctor Fate with Reverse Flash, Silver Banshee, as well as Power Girl, you're gonna get back a power from like Doctor Fate. So definitely that is useful. And moving on to the next character, we have Batman Ninja Robin. And Batman Ninja Robin is again a primary character that you want to have because he grants lethal attack damage stack boost. So let's break that again. Lethal attack damage stack boost to the entire Batman Ninja team. So whenever you're landing a lethal attack, with your Batman Ninja team, you're gonna get a lethal attack boost once Batman Ninja Robin is there in the team. And he's again very versatile. Like he can do a lot of fast attacks, and he has armor pierce on a special tree and even heal on the special tree. So which makes him pretty versatile as both as an offensive as well as a defensive character. But primarily he's used as a support character for the Batman Ninja team. So definitely this I personally believe makes Batman Ninja Robin to fall in the Giga tier list. Moving on, we have Brainiac. So Brainiac was literally a trash legendary character just few months back, but after the refactor where he can actually hack in the opponents of any class, irrespective of whether it's a tech or a might or a metahuman or an agility or an arcane class, definitely Brainiac is now very useful. Also, Brainiac is a great support character for all the legendary characters. With his special one stacking up lethal attack damage, definitely an excellent support for like Black Manta, and also a great support for the other characters, other legendary characters as well as he mitigates the amount of basic attack damage that is done on your character. So definitely pretty versatile now, and I personally believe it's a giga tier character also because it's freely available through the challenges. So you do not need to buy like a Brainiac. You're gonna get Brainiac through the challenges. So just farm out the challenges and you're gonna have your legendary character as well. So moving on, we have the next character in this particular tier list, and that is Power Girl. So Power Girl is another excellent character because of her passive, where she reduces the power cost of the specials. That definitely is useful, and she's a very like a very supportive character, as well as she has dot damage, so pretty useful in arena as well. So moving on to the next character, we have Black Adam, and Black Adam is like a very pleasant character to fight with and has everything to do with power. SP1 reduces the power cost, SP3 power steals, and it's very useful. So Black Adam is again a Giga tier character because I believe Black Adam doesn't do huge amount of damage like the ultimate OP characters in this particular tier list, but definitely is a worthy character to build, and definitely is easy to play with as well and fun to play with as well. So with that being said, we are going to move into the next tier of this 94 characters tier list. So moving on to the next characters in this tier list is the mega tier, and in the mega tier we have a lot of Batmans, I guess, and also a legendary character to begin with. The legendary character that we have over here is Justice League Superman. So you might wonder why I didn't include Justice League Superman in the Giga tier. Personally, I feel the Justice League team is primarily composed of Justice League Cyborg, Aquaman, and Flash, and as a result, he doesn't have a place in that team. So definitely, it's fun to play with Justice League Superman because of again his passives of interrupting and getting attack boosts through like having Batman in the team. That is useful and it's fun to play, like I said, but definitely it's not going to do the maximum amount of damage. So I personally feel Justice League Superman falls in the mega tier, and he does have burn on his SP3, which halves defense. Not depends. What am I even saying? The defense of opponents, and that is definitely useful. But again, like I personally feel it falls in the mega tier character because it doesn't do the maximum amount of damage in like either league rates or in solo rates. So moving on to the next character, we again have next couple of characters. I'll say we again have a couple of Justice League characters, that is Mythic Wonder Woman and Justice League Batman. Both of these characters, I personally feel because of their only single passive and having like SP3 costing 7 power bars, they're kind of let down with the damage potential. So definitely these two characters are like could have been better and definitely deal more damage if they were kind of optimized, had 3 passives and as well as some modifiers on the special abilities. Mythic Wonder Woman does have an armor pierce, but it's on the special one, so that doesn't help to do a lot of damage. And as a result, I personally feel that both these characters, instead of lying in the Giga tier, lies in the Mega tier of this tier list. So jumping on to the next character here is Emerald Green Lantern. So Emerald Green Lantern is a Mega tier character in my opinion because primarily his passive of doing a stun or a power boost or a lethal attack damage boost while he's tagging in or his teammates are tagging in is useful for arena and champions arena, but definitely not that useful for raids. And he is a very high DPS character, so damage per second, like I mentioned before. So he does a very fast combo, but still his combo has like two fast attacks instead of three. So definitely this makes him less, I'll say a lesser choice compared to having him built as a combo builder and tank for just a building up combos. Again, he's fun to play with, I'll say, because of the passives, and it's a good character. It's one of the oldest characters. It came out initially when the game had launched, and didn't actually deserve didn't actually get a refactor which he deserved rather. So with that being said, let's move on to the next character. We have like Ace Green Arrow. So Ace Green Arrow's passive, of where he disables the power generation entirely for a few specific seconds once he tags out, is an excellent passive to have. And apart from that, he also has power drain with his special one. So definitely is a useful support character for fighting bosses where you are gonna get super moved once they have the full power. You have Brainiac in Phase 4, you have Brainiac in Rise of Krypton, you have Darkseid in Dawn of Apocalypse. So definitely, this particular character is useful in these scenarios, but it doesn't do a lot of damage. It's just a support character, and I personally feel it has some usage, and as a result, it falls in the mega tier list. Moving on, this is again an underrated character and could be a controversial call from my end, that is having Multiverse White Canary in the mega tier list. So, those of you guys who are new, you guys won't be knowing that Multiverse White Canary used to do a lot of damage like a couple of years back when a couple, not even couple, a bit more than a couple of years back when she was released. And she could do a lot of damage with her special ability 3, and her special ability 3 kind of disables all the opponent's passives, so that is definitely an useful thing to have. But granted the fact that her special ability 3 is costing 7 power bars, it is kind of a bummer that you cannot directly use her as a combo builder. And also with the availability of Multiverse Armor Supergirl, who does a lot of more damage, she kinds of gets a setback as a damage dealer as well. But she has definitely some good amount of damage potential. If someone maxes it out, do let me know if you guys are doing a good amount of damage. And definitely she's again fun to play with, I believe. So with that being said, let's move on to the next character, which is Atrocitus. So Atrocitus is an entirely a tank character or a support character with his passives and his build, and he has one of the highest defenses as a base defense. So definitely is like a tank or a support character. You can even build him as a damage dealer, like Jigsaw did build him as a damage dealer. So that's entirely up to you how you want to play it. But definitely, he's not going to do a huge amount of damage. But he is, like I said, he's a fun to play character, and it's kind of worth to have Atrocitus, and is it's kind of easily available as well. You're gonna get a lot of like raid drops of Atrocitus once you are in a league, and also you can buy his shards from the league store, and it's pretty easy to get him maxed out as well. And also you get the gear drops in raids as well, so which makes him even easier to build. So this kind of concludes why Atrocitus is in the mega tier list. So moving on, we have Red Hood. So Red Hood is a great character and is the main character for the All Blades, where his super move costs 5 power bars less, and that is insane. So Red Hood can actually do a super move with only 1 power cost. So that is something crazy, and that can be possible once you have him paired with either Dr. Fate or Power Girl as well as Black Adam. So Black Adam is going to reduce the power cost even further, and with all blades equipped, you can actually do a super move with only 1 power bar, and that is kind of insane. And the main advantage of Red Hood is he grants additional time to the battle. So at level 5, he's gonna grant 30 seconds, and that is definitely useful for elongating the battle and doing more damage, and is a great support character for the Multiverse Armor Supergirl team. Once you're facing boss Captain Cold in tier 8 raids, or even tier 7, or whichever raids you are wanting to. So with that being said, we are going to move on to the next character, which is Horrific Scarecrow. So Horrific Scarecrow's passive is interesting. So he grants a passive where the power cost of your opponents are increased for the special abilities. So at the level 5, he is gonna increase the power cost of your opponents by 2, as well as decrease the attack of your opponents by 10%, if I remember correctly, or 8%. I guess it's 10% as far as I can remember. So definitely that's a useful character as a support character only. It's not a damage dealer, it's definitely only a support character. So again, this places Horrific Scarecrow in the mega tier list as it's some way useful. So let's jump on to the next character. We have Multiverse Green Arrow. So, Multiverse Green Arrow grants power drain for all the Multiverse teammates, and also grants dot damage on the usage of special tree for the Multiverse teammates, and that is definitely useful to have. But again, it's not a primary support character of the Multiverse team. It is useful, it can do a decent amount of damage. It is ridiculous to fight against in Rise of Krypton. God, it's one of the most annoying bosses to fight against, and definitely, I personally feel that it has some damage potential, not the highest damage potential, can work as a good support character too. So I personally feel he falls in the mega tier list. Moving on, we have Multiverse Supergirl, not the Armor Supergirl, but only Supergirl. And Multiverse Supergirl is again an excellent character, I'll say, as a support, but not as a damage dealer. So in Arena and Champions Arena, you can do a lot of things with Multiverse Supergirl because she has the Freeze Breath special ability where she freezes the opponent, and basically, once paired with the Multiverse Flash, you can actually like freeze lock, not stun lock, but freeze lock your opponent and keep them like frozen through the entire duration of the battle and win the arena fights. So she's useful in arena and champions arena as well, but definitely for league raids and raids, she's not that great. And she also has a passive which grants an increase to the defense in her, which is like 15% as far as I can recall, and also reduces the damage she's taking. She and her teammates are taking, multiverse teammates only, as far as I can recall, once they're below a certain limit of threshold of health. But that is again more of a support, which is not an offensive support, it's more of a defensive support. And as a result, I personally feel just to do a lot of damage, Multiverse Supergirl is not the ideal character, and thus it places Multiverse Supergirl in like the mega tier in this tier list. So moving on, what do we have at hand? We have John Stewart Green Lantern. So John Stewart Green Lantern, like the other Green Lanterns, is again a very high DPS character, damages per second, has armor pierce on the special ability too, and can do an infinite combo with the spamming of the special ability too, which makes him pretty useful. But again, not the highest damage dealing character, and as a result, is falling in the mega tier of this tier list. So let's move on to the next character. So moving on to the next character, it's Atlantean Armor Aquaman, and Atlantean Armor Aquaman is a decent character and is one of the essential characters, I'll say, for playing out campaign and building up your campaign journey. So if you're a new player, definitely you should start focusing on using Atlantean Armor Aquaman, because he's going to help you clear out all the campaign chapters. So definitely don't build him to max level gear 70, gear 60. This is not something that I'm going to advise, because he's not going to be the ultimate damage dealer in league raids or raids. So rather solo raids. So definitely he's a fun to play character, has power drain, has armor pierce, and dot damage, like multiple things going for him. But apparently he doesn't do a huge amount of damage, which places him in the mega tier list. So moving on, we have Silverbane. So you might wonder, why do I have Silverbane in this mega tier list? Silverbane is actually an awesome support character. For those of you who don't know, Silverbane grants like additional basic attack damage boost, as well as like critical attack chance to your teammates, and that definitely helps a lot in building up your characters, the offensive damage dealers, where you can invest less amount of resources and get a good amount of damage. So Silver Bane as a damage dealer is like horrendous, but definitely as a support character is pretty good, and places him in the mega tier. Moving on, we have another Batman, and this is the Silver Batman. So, Silver Batman has an awesome SP3 multiplier. It's the highest SP3 multiplier in the game, and he also grants critical attack chance to the entire team. And as a result, Silver Batman is also a great character, but like Predator Batman, he's kind of let down by the lack of passives as well as lack of special properties on this special abilities, and as a result doesn't do a huge amount of damage and places him in the mega tier of this tier list. So moving on, we have Nightmare Batman. So Nightmare Batman is again another Batman in this tier list. It's kind of getting ridiculous how many Batmans are there in this particular tier, but like Nightmare Batman has multiple things going for him as well. So first is at the start of the battle he has ambush, which kind of gives you an additional advantage where the opponent cannot attack you, and this is not like stun. So this is gonna take place all the time until unless you are having another Nightmare Batman in your opponent, and both of the opponent as well as your team is kind of ambushed. But other than that, he has the reflective shield property where he kind of reflects the damage entirely of your basic attacks. Like he has a chance of that doing that. It's 75% as far as I can recall, and that is definitely a good chance. So most of the damage that you're gonna do is gonna get reflected, the opponent is gonna do rather is gonna get reflected, and definitely an useful character for arena and champions arena, and also has power drain once you do a jump. So many of you guys might be missing this because if he jumps he can actually power drain with the jump attack, but again that's not how most people play, and definitely it doesn't make him that useful as a damage dealer as well in league raids as well as solo raids, and definitely pushes him into this mega tier of this tier list. So moving on, we have Dark Supergirl. So why do we have Dark Supergirl in the mega tier? Because again, she is a hybrid character. I'll say she has some defensive mechanism in a way where she can interrupt the opponent, but the way she interrupts the opponent while the opponent is doing a special isn't something that I'm fond of, because she doesn't end up like continuing the combo. She just interrupts, bam, that's it, and then it's kind of difficult to start the combo with her, and gets kind of obnoxious. And she also gets like critical attack damage boost, critical attack chance boost while she's interrupting an opponent's special, so which makes her a bit versatile like I said, but definitely not the most OP character in terms of damage, as well as not very OP in league raids as well as solo raids. Definitely useful for arena and champions arena. Moving on, we have Raiden. So Raiden is another character which is extremely useful for Arena and Champions Arena because of his SP3, where he does a ton of damage to the opponents who are tagged out. But as a damage dealer, he's literally nothing because he's one of the poorest multipliers of the SP3, and he just doesn't do a lot of damage in either of the raid modes. So, because of the flexibility of using him in Arena and Champions Arena, this kind of places him not in a useless tier, rather in a mega tier. So moving on to the next character, it's another MK character, and that is Sub-Zero. So Sub-Zero, again, Sub-Zero's passive is useful, where like he has rather a special ability, I'll say, where his special ability 3 can actually get a clone of the opponent. This doesn't work in raids except for fighting against boss Gorilla Grodd, as well as like boss Last Love the sorry, what I am saying, boss Brainiac Phase 1, and supporting Last Love the Joker rather. But then again, it's not a great support because it does take a lot of time to build up like Sub-Zero's passive, like Sub-Zero special ability 3, and that definitely is like time consuming and not an ideal way to play the game. So this pushes Sub-Zero in the mega tier according to my tier list. So moving on to the next character is Silver Green Lantern. So Green Lantern is again in a mega tier because he's again a support character. So he has a barrier of like times of a percentage of like his health, and that kind of helps you to do a combo interruption against like the opponents whom you are not able to do combo interrupt properly, like for example while you're facing Harley Quinn, while you're facing Aquaman. So these characters are kind of difficult to combo interrupt and are not combo interruptible technically. If you're able to do it, might probably be lasting for once only. So it's kind of difficult to do against them. But if you have Green Lantern, Silver Green Lantern maxed out, as well as having good amount of health, he's gonna grant barrier to the damage dealers, and that is gonna be extremely useful to do combo interruption and do a ton of damage. So with that being said, we are going to move on to the next character, which is Martian Manhunter. So Martian Manhunter is another legendary in this particular tier. So a lot of legendaries coming in this tier, and Martian Manhunter is entirely, I believe, a support character. He builds up combo insanely fast. If there are debuffs on the opponent, he can get up to 5 hits per hit, like basically 5 fast attack hits total. So basically one string of combo and you're up at 40 level hits. So definitely like Martian Manhunter is one of the best combo builders in the game. It's not a great damage dealer, and as a result I believe it primarily has a support role only while using the Silver Banshee team, or only if you want to use it as a straightforward combo builder alone. So this kind of pushes him down to the mega tier in my opinion. So let's jump into the next character, and that is Nightwing. So Nightwing is again a fun character, and Nightwing like generates power just by blocking, and also has the ability to an infinite combo, which is again like I forgot to mention for Martian Manhunter. Martian Manhunter can do infinite combo as well. So with that being said, like Nightwing does an infinite combo once the father box is equipped, and even without the father box, once the opponent is cornered, and thus he it kind of makes him quite a great like combo builder. So I'll say, and as a result, I believe he falls in the mega tier. Moving on to the next character is Hellboy. So like I said, again, this could be something controversial, I guess, because some of you might agree to disagree that Hellboy doesn't belong to a mega tier. He's completely trash, completely useless. But I believe Hellboy is a decent character because he's immune to dot. And if you guys have not seen my DSG video where you can actually use Hellboy to counter this the special one of Dark Supergirl, because he's immune to dot, so he's not gonna get affected, and he's gonna be a great support character there as well. And he actually can do a decent amount of damage as well, but people don't use it often because like he's kind of overshadowed by the other damage dealing characters. So he does a lot of damage with the SP3 because his SP3 has armor pierce. So if you guys are not aware of it, his SP3 can do a decent amount of damage as well. And as a result, I believe he is kind of placeable in the mega tier in this tier list. Moving on, we have Soul Stealer Dr. Fate. Soul Stealer Dr. Fate is again a character that can do an infinite combo with the father box equipped, and is very useful in arena and champions arena with his super move swapping, yeah, swapping the health of the opponents. So if you're at low health and you do a super move, you're gonna get the full health if the opponent is at full health back, and in turn also knock out the opponent. So definitely an useful character for arena and champions arena, but definitely not that great for damage. So with that being said, let's move on to the next character, which is Classic Superman. And Classic Superman is definitely a useful support character because he reduces the defense of the opponents that you're facing with his special ability 2. So his special ability 2 reduces the defense by 25%. I remember, if I remember correctly, at level 5 or level, yes, at level 5 passive, and that is definitely useful for fighting bosses which have very high defense. So with that being said, let's move on to the next character in this mega tier list, and that is Suicide Squad Enchantress. So Suicide Squad Enchantress is a legendary character, but doesn't do a lot of damage at all. But her special ability 3 can remove hazards from the battlefield, and that is something very interesting. And if paired correctly, like you can use Black Manta team in phase 3 and do a lot of damage as well, because you will have Suicide Squad and Enchantress removing the hazard of the dot damage, and Black Manta will be free to do special abilities as well as the basic attacks and do a lot of damage. So she's a good support character for the legendary teammates, but other than that, she doesn't have a lot to offer for damage potential. So definitely that places her in the mega tier. So with that being said, this concludes the mega tier. Let's move on to the next two tiers of this tier list of all the 94 characters in Injustice 2 Mobile. So let's move on to the next tier, and the next tier we have the noob tier. So this tier is actually a set of characters which have some potential but is not used often and doesn't do a lot of damage in raids, league raids. It's not at all much useful in the game. So starting off is Primal Swamp Thing. So you might wonder he should have gone in the last tier, but he can still do some. So moving on to the next tier, and this tier is called the noob tier. So the primary characters here are Primal Swamp Thing, Batwoman, Telekinetic Gorilla Grodd, Robin, Batman Ninja, Batman, like Power Supergirl, Unhinged Harley Quinn, then Black Lightning, Multiverse Captain Cold, Warrior Queen Wonder Woman. Then you have Starfire, you have the Silver Flash, you have Speed Force the Flash, you have Armor Superman, and you have even a legendary character here, which is the Golden Armor Wonder Woman. All these characters are technically like pretty much useless in any form of the game. You cannot do a lot of damage with this particular characters, or do a decent amount in arena champions arena as well. So I'm covering all these characters together because primarily they do not have certain advantages that are going to be pretty useful for any places, and primarily these characters does have some damage potential better than the last characters list. And you might wonder why I have praised Primal Swamp Thing here in the new characters, because I personally feel like he has a bit higher damage potential than the last tier that we are going to see. So as a result, I believe Primal Swamp Thing is kind of placeable here. Moving on to the other characters that we have here, Batwoman is a good support character with the combo building ability, where your combo cannot be interrupted, and there is 90% chance of the combo that you're doing not getting interrupted, and even with the super move. So if you guys haven't checked out my video, I did end up doing a 1290 hit combo with a Batwoman as a support character. So it's useful only for that. It's just for fun, a couple of whips, that's it. It's not going to do a lot of damage. Her animation is cool. Batwoman's animation of the SP3, that is kind of interesting and fun, but from a strictly damage perspective, it's not going to do a lot. Telekinetic Gorilla Grodd is one of the most frequent characters that you're going to get through raid drops, and he doesn't do a lot of damage as well. And with respect to the other characters here, none of the characters do significant amount of damage, and they are neither good for the arena or champions arena as well. So I'm not going to cover all the characters here. You can see which characters are here, but they are not, like I said, they are not that great. And finally, we're moving on to the final tier. A lot of characters fall in this tier, which is a wasted tier. So this wasted tier has Enraged Brain, has Amazon Wonder Woman, Silver Robin, Silver Cyborg, Silver Joker, Silver Deadshot, Silver Aquaman, Silver Wonder Woman, Silver Harley Quinn, Silver Horrific Scarecrow. So primarily all the silver characters, Silver Gorilla Grodd, then both the Black Canaries. The Black Canaries is ridiculous. Uh, they don't do at all any damage, and it's neither useful in arena champions arena. They could be fun to play with. Even one of the Black Canaries, I think the Silver Black Canary, has an advantage while fighting against boss Horrific Scarecrow, but that also doesn't help because she's not able to do a lot of damage. And we have the legendary Silver Swamp Thing here. Definitely is another character which is downright ridiculous. Suicide Squad Deadshot, it got refactored, mind you, it got refactored and has passive bonuses with the Suicide Squad team, but that doesn't help at all. He just doesn't do anything basically. Moving on, we have Grid. So again, a ridiculous character which like doesn't do damage at all. Is has a very low SP3 modifier and definitely is not at all useful. Silver Superman, you could say, is a bit useful because it grants defense, but again, it's not a character that you are gonna like prefer over in a team, like compared to having Armor Supergirl, rather Armor Superman in the team, because Armor Superman grants 20% defense boost, whereas Silver Superman grants only 10%. So definitely, you are not gonna prefer it having in the team, and as a result, it's not at all useful. So moving on to the next characters that we have at hand is like the Catwomans, the Master Thief Catwoman, as well as the Silver Catwoman. Their passives, it just grants additional coins in operations, and that is outright ridiculous. It's nothing to do with the gameplay at all. So definitely not helpful at all. And the other characters that we have is Firestorm, Blue Beetle, Batman Ninja Harley Quinn, Classic Batman, Flora Poison Ivy, Cheetah, Unbreakable Cyborg, Captain Cold, and like Silver Green Arrow, as well as a legendary Suicide Squad Harley Quinn. All these characters, nothing actually works for them. No passive is useful for fighting in raids, in league raids. So definitely, if you have these characters, it's not worth maxing them out at all at the beginning. So if you're a very advanced player, like you have 20 million, 25 million damage, you're kind of pretty much 20, 25 million, not damage, but rather threat of your roster, and you're not not finding any interest in developing other characters, only then you can start developing these characters just for fun, just to test out how these characters work in league raids and arena, champions arena, just for that. But other than that, they do not have any advantages in the game at all. So definitely it's a wasted one. And you might wonder why I've even included Suicide Squad Harley Quinn. Like, it's ridiculous. She has had refactors. She was a gold character initially. She got refactored into a legendary character, and still she doesn't do at all good in damage perspectives. She resists criticals. It's rather a tough boss to fight against in Dawn of Apocalypse, but other than that, it is pretty useless. So this is the wasted tier list of this entire tier, and definitely this concludes the entire tier list of all the 94 characters in the game. So with that being said, this is a long video. This is the longest video that I have ever made. So this is like a discussion, like I said, and if you watched till this point of time, hats off, respect to you guys for bearing with me, hearing me out on this particular story of the artifacts, not the artifacts. What I'm saying, I'm just speaking garbage right now, but all the characters in the game. So, with that being said, if you enjoy my content, make sure to like and subscribe to my channel for more Injustice 2 related content, and definitely more gaming content is going to come along the way. So this is your boy, the Average Gamer 98 over here, signing off after a huge rant and the longest video in my channel. You guys take care, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Peace. Bye.